Okay, let's see if I can remember how to fire this thing up. Master switch on. This doesn't have mixture, which is helpful. There's the throttle. Fuel pump on. Interesting.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon, how you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm good too.
Just going to change my volume. Okay, let's actually make that a bit smaller. Probably need more fuel in the aeroplane than I've got. Landing lights on, avionics on, strobes on. CYSE.
What plane's that you, Jonathan?
The Jabiru. Hardly ever flown it. It's used by lots of, lots of flight schools all over the world, I think. CYPS is the next waypoint. And CYLI.
Yeah.
CYK8. CRC3. Okay, I'm going to start orbiting overhead. We'll hang around here for a few minutes in case anybody late comes in.
And I'm back.
Hey up.
We've got transmitter running.
Oh, that's a good point. If you have it, you can run it by all means. Yeah, just don't rely on me to be running it, hey. I'll stay on the grass away from the runway. So I'm live streaming this, by the way. Anybody who's joining in, someone's asked on the live stream, could I do a review of the Caribou? I actually flew it last night to see what the changes were. There's nothing significant in any of those changes that came out yesterday in those aeroplanes. So the Antonov 2, the 225, or the Caribou, they're all very much as they were. They've fixed some of the things like the default switch positions when you get into the aeroplane. But other than that, there's really nothing that's significant.
Katie, you need to come down here and do. There you go.
I need to shut the door. I have foghorn daughters. Right, I'm going to go get in the air and circle the airfield. Should we turn the labels on maybe? Oh my word.
Seems I'm going by road for some reason. I might change aircraft. There's something wrong with this.
Okay. We can hang here for a few minutes, don't worry.
Going down.
Are you not supposed to scream when you shout, I'm going down? So that will be our way out, I guess. So there's a valley that we can follow to the right of the runway if you take off from... which runway is that?
Yeah,
3-3, yeah. You can follow the road, basically. That's Peter said.
Unintentionally.
We'll follow the river, actually, away from the runway, and it leads straight into that valley.
Quite a lot of people at the airport, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm quite surprised. I ought to fly this Jabiru more often. It's ever so easy to fly.
Right, well, I've left the PC6, which seems to want to veer to the right and crash, and got into Buffalo. So we'll, if that happens again, it's the joystick, which is a problem.
If I ever get issues with the joystick, I just pull the plug out of the joystick and plug it back in again after a few seconds.
Everything seems to be okay for a minute.
I'll do one more lap and then we'll set off, shall we?
Yep. Just spotted another plane coming in from behind the mountain.
So I guess we're going to go past Mount Garibaldi, which is on the right as we leave here. Then up through Whistler to Pemberton.
What sort of speed are you planning?
Oh, this thing only does about 100 knots, so I say that it's doing 105 knots at the moment, so right, I'm going to set off then up this valley. Like I said, anybody should be able to catch me because I'm not in the fastest thing in the world. I have to say the colour scheme in this Jabiru is a bit bright. Looks like it came out of a Kinder egg. a bit earlier to make it look a bit prettier, maybe. Do-do-do-do. Oh, we've got Perpetual Omega is still there on the ground. I think they're playing around with their multiplayer settings. We're using Southeast Asia. If you can hear us, Perpetual Omega, I'll type it into YouTube as well. I can see your comment about that. We're using the I have to be looking outside really, didn't I? Using the Southeast Asia server. Flight conditions, all players to see everybody.
Bit like Cheddar Gorge.
It is a little bit, isn't it? Try and climb a little bit.
Some electric pylons.
There is. Yeah, I need to reinstall the what's it called? Paralines, the mod in the simulator.
All the wires are there.
So the first stop today. So at the moment we're going into the Brandywine Falls Provincial Park, apparently, this flat area in front of us. After that we go around the corner into Whistler and then on towards past Mount Curry to Pemberton, which is where our first stop is. gently climbing all the time through here, aren't we?
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I'm just checking what altitude Pemberton's at. 670 feet. Okay, so we'll descend back down again by the time we get there. Stop climbing. So come around the corner towards Whistler.
It's a nice waterfall.
Where's that?
Where I am, you've already passed it. I'm way behind you lot. Very low though. I'm just above the
Yeah,
pylon.
I can see where you are. Okay, so Whistler is down in the bottom of the valley on the next turn. Ah, so this has an autopilot. I never knew that. So does that do heading bug? What does it do? Heading? Everybody's remarkably quiet.
Well, I was wondering if Mrs. grandmother was there.
We've got 30 people watching on YouTube. Okay, let's find the way. Wendy? Sorry, just I thought something private might go in. I need to put some music on in the background of the live stream, don't I?
We just had a kettle delivered that was a replacement for a kettle we ordered.
Right.
It took about 6 weeks. Problem being, they sent the wrong kettle in the beginning.
Right.
Ah, but it's the replacement, the wrong kettle.
No, that is the one we first chose. In total, this has took 3 months.
You must be dying for a cuppa.
So someone just mentioned on the live stream chat he doesn't think he was going to get here in time to take part, or you know we'd be way ahead. I just said he could spawn in at any airfield along the way.
Or to other players' location, like I did.
Yeah, you can just jump in en route. It's fine. I'll post text messages in the live stream as well. CYPS we're approaching. CYPS Pemberton. So we should come around the next corner and find Pemberton right in front of us. Fingers crossed.
Bumpy night.
Turbulence, you mean?
Yeah.
So there's only...
Must be all the potholes.
So there's 2 knots wind on the ground at Pemberton, so don't need to really worry about it. Let's return the name labels off just on approach so we can see it.
Well, that's a nicely aligned runway.
It is.
Just had all my passengers screaming.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, actually. FS realistic. I'm not running it.
I did a sort of a Spitfire turn.
What are you flying, Dave?
Kodiak.
No, I'm in the Beaver now after my PC6 went terminal.
And back again. Magic 6-4, mic check please.
Yep, we can hear you. So we're just departing from CYPS Pemberton in Canada. And heading off into the valleys again. So someone's commenting on the live stream that there's a 414 update yet again last night. Yeah, there was. I think that's 3 updates in 2 days.
moment?
Yep.
Okay. What sort of location are you?
CYPS, Pemberton. We've just left there.
Okay.
We're en route to Lillooet, CYLI. But yeah, we just left Pemberton in Canada, CYPS.
Got it. I'll fire the thing up and
Yep.
I'll
Cool.
spawn there.
You should see the group of us on the map actually, so if you just click in mid-air, the sim will throw you into the air next to us.
Okay, thanks. Looking. Give me a minute till I get it all fired up.
It's funny. I've got flight FS Realistic running. Somebody just sneezed in the aeroplane and the whole aeroplane shook.
I think you should have a word with your airframe manufacturer.
Yeah, this Jabiru, it's easy to fly, but it's a bit gutless for flying around the mountains. I think something like the Kodiak would have been a much better choice, or the Caravan maybe.
You're in Canada, you should be in the Beaver.
This is true. Or the Caribou.
True. Just not my PC6. Which
Dare I, dare I suggest the Twin Otter?
Yeah. Or the Antonov 2.
I was surprised last night. It showed you up as the Beaver when we were alongside each other.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Sometimes does weird things like that.
What sort of average speed are you all flying at?
I'm really slow. I'm only doing about 85 knots at the moment, so I'm in this really pathetic little trainer called a Jabiru.
Yeah, I have that. I flew it once and forgot about it ever since.
It's officially a microlight, isn't it?
I think so. They tend to have them at flying schools to do circuit work and things like that. Of course, it helps if you thin the mixture out. I just realised we're at 4,000 feet. So we're approaching Duffy Lake Provincial Park. Just round the corner, we'll go down the right hand side of the mountain we can see in front of us.
I'm going in because I forgot to turn my fuel selector over and now the engine won't start.
Control E.
Good idea. Too late.
Or slew and unslew yourself will usually repair anything.
It's a good idea.
Not that we have every trick in the book up our sleeves.
At least I can hear the birds singing. Going up. Bingo, it has worked. I'm just at the 12,000 feet now though.
How are we doing? Just coming up to the lake, Duffy Lake Provincial Park. Then we follow Route 99 through the hills all the way to Lillooet.
Oh well, Canadian Air Force has very kindly just done some air refueling for me.
That's a good point actually. Where's the fuel gauge on this thing? Gallons per hour, RPM, manifold pressure. Oh, it's over there, okay. It's oil. Cylinder head temperature. Ah, there we go. I have half a wing full each side. See if I can figure the autopilot out in this thing while we're flying along here.
There's nothing more comforting than the sight of little red and green lights.
Yeah, if I go and turn off the nameplates, change the time of day, you get to see all the nav lights, which is really cool.
That's interesting. I've just started Little Nav Map and can't actually see any of you at all up in Canada at the moment.
Have you got the VirtualFlight.Online feed running? So you got the red aeroplanes?
I'm seeing no other aircraft on there at the moment, weirdly enough.
On the top of Little Nav Map, there's an icon with a red aeroplane with an O on it.
Yeah, that's it.
In tools and options, in online
Normally
flying.
It comes up by default.
Yeah,
So just going to tools now.
yeah, tools, options, online flying. Make sure the URL is in the custom bit.
Yeah, the VirtualFlight.Online was
Yeah.
on IVAO.
Yeah, make sure there's no space on the end of it.
No space.
Okay. How strange.
Let's just try and have a look, see what's happening.
Is that just in little nav map you're not seeing it?
Just in Little Nav Map, yeah. Normally, I see the
Red aeroplanes.
virtual flight aircraft without any intervention, but I've just disconnected and reconnected on the transmitter.
It's nothing to do with transmitter. So it'll be that red aeroplane icon in Little Nav Map. How strange.
Let's give it a push and a...
So the other thing to try is if you go to the search dialog in Little Nav Map is just to go and look on the online clients list, and it shows you all the people that are using transmitter right now.
And that's within Little Nav Map, you say?
Yep. So if you click on the search, which is about the 10th icon on the second row.
I've only one row at the moment.
Ah. If you go to the window menu and search, it's about halfway down.
Looking. Yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, so within the search dialog you can scroll through the tabs at the top. If you scroll to the right, online clients will come up.
I have it.
And then, can you see a list of people in there?
I can, yeah.
So if you find myself on there, for example, so I think I'm just appearing as John Beckett today, somewhere. That's a good point. I can't see myself. Oh yeah, I'm near the bottom actually. 38 I think on my list. Whoa, nearly hit a hillside.
Looking.
And just double click on a person and then the map will centre up on them.
That's brought it all back in, got visual on all traffic now.
Brilliant.
Fantastic, thank you.
So yeah, the online client list is quite a crafty way of finding out where people are. So we're
So much stuff.
just approaching Lillooet, Charlie Yankee Lima, India.
You're not secretly with MI5, are you, John?
So he's saying, disregard.
Ah, the guy that's just joined, just for everybody else's sake, he's called John as well. So if you call me Jonathan, that will differentiate us.
So just call me Magic. That's an easy one. That's interesting. Just gone back to the main map window in Little Nav Map, and again, no traffic. So I'll have a play with it for a minute.
Is your icon along the top row on the right blue? The airplane icons.
I have, I've got one in red at the moment, which is next to the boats. That's the only one I'm seeing.
But is it highlighted as blue?
Sim aircraft.
Is it highlighted as blue though?
There's another one, isn't there, with the yellow plane?
There's three. Yeah, there's three icons up there.
On to the right of that.
The O one is the
Can't tell
online.
whether it's highlighted in blue. I think it is.
Yeah, it toggles on and off.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, so we're just coming round towards Seaton Lake and then Lillooet Airport.
This valley is getting tighter and tighter.
It is, good, isn't it?
I've stayed at 4,800 feet.
I'm at 3,000. Turn the names back on.
Do a few orbits over Lillooet.
You wouldn't want an engine failure around here, would you? Not going to be much choice of where to go. Alpha Indigo is making the quite correct observation that two engines are better than one. I think with commercial flight, anything that goes over water, they tend to use aeroplanes with two engines, don't they?
Used to have 4.
It's quite interesting that, oh, what's his name? Missionary Bush pilot. Because he flies the Kodiak, doesn't he? And he quite often does that ferry run across to Tasmania, or not Tasmania, sorry, from Port Moresby over to Australia. And that's quite a big body of water to go with a single engine aeroplane.
Picks a good plane to do it in there, doesn't he?
Yeah. So, airfield is just across the way somewhere. Oh, is it on top of the ridge?
No, it's down below. Oh, Oh, yes, it is on top.
Yeah,
Rather.
I'm just looking. There's like a
Yeah.
raised platform, isn't there? Like a hill. Which runway are we going for then? 3-2?
3-2, yeah, the wind's coming, changing. The wind has just changed to the opposite direction.
Just looking at the route.
Mind you, it's nearly 4,000 feet long, so we should be okay.
Circle before I go in, lose some height.
Having a spotty experience with the map at the moment, but not a problem. Which airfield are you nearest at the moment? Is that Charlie Yankee Lima, India?
Yep.
Okay, heading in now about, oh God, quite why actually, stand by.
Just go to slew and jump in quickly.
Okay, I've never done that in MSLS. What's the secret of that?
Press Y.
Okay.
And then the keypad keys 4862 will navigate you very quickly in a direction.
Okie doke.
1 and 3 on the keypad will rotate the aircraft.
Gotcha, thanks.
Oh, and F1 and F4 will lift you up and down if you need to avoid hills.
Thanks a lot.
And then to get back out of slew, just press Y again.
Gotcha. I think I'm actually going to respawn at
okay.
CYLI.
So,
I had to clear this ridge.
I was going to say, we've got to get over this over this ridge somehow, so there's a bit of circling here for a few minutes, I think.
Yeah, we've just gone down the valley and coming back, climbing. Just about to go over the top.
So someone on the live stream is asking, which is better, the C-150 Mustang or the Vision Jet? I won't say, it's not really a comparison between those two, it's a comparison between the Honda Jet and the Mustang, I would have thought. Because they are almost identical.
Honda Jet's not that fast though, is it?
And it's got that annoying user interface that you can't get rid of with the display of the aeroplane all the time.
Yeah.
No, the Mustang's very good. I was in the beta program for it, and I was quite impressed with, you know, how quickly they iterated and made it more and more polished.
I got over at 6,000 feet, so
Okay, I'm still climbing. Just coming up through 3.5 towards 4,000.
Interesting, a respawn and now all traffic visible.
Brilliant. Perhaps there was something going on with the sim then.
There's always something. Okay, Magic lined up now, runway 14. Anybody on approach to it at all?
Don't think so.
Fantastic. I'll get out of here and make a clear runway for you. I'll call on airborne.
Yeah, it's usually a bit of a chimp's tea party on our group flights anyway. So when we get lots of us, we tend to agree on a runway, but when there's only a few, it doesn't really matter.
Hello.
Oh, I'm climbing and climbing. I'm up to 4,500 now. Getting there. Slow right turn over the valley. Time to pick a route through the peaks, I guess. I'm going to go right a bit.
I've just diverted off a little bit to the right.
Yeah, just to go around that big hump.
Yeah.
That big hump's probably got a name, hasn't it? I'm going to have a look on the map. even know? It hasn't got a specific name.
In that case, you get to name it Big Hump.
Yeah. Moor Peak is in the distance behind it, I guess.
There's a big lump in the way.
Yeah, so that's Moor Peak that we're calling the Big Lump. So the Big Lump does have a name. It is Moor Peak. So let's go for a bit more altitude. 8,000 feet, oh my word.
Yeah, I got over at 7. Oh, going round the side of it.
Turning right 90 degrees.
You can actually, once you've passed that one, you can start descending again.
GPU device error not fixed yet. The someone's commented on the live stream chat they've got the GPU device error. Yeah, there's some notes from NVIDIA about using a specific older version if you encounter that. It doesn't happen to all NVIDIA cards. So there is a crash on the latest several drivers that people are experiencing.
I did have that problem and went back to the .29 version of the drivers, and everything's been fine since then.
Yeah. So it needs to be going 58 degrees to get to the destination. Heading. There we go. How far have we got to run? Have I got time to go make a coffee en route?
About 14 miles nautical.
Yeah, that's plenty of time to make a coffee, isn't it? The destination, Cache Creek, is at 2,000 feet above sea level.
I suppose you've got an IKO for that, have you?
Yeah. Charlie Alpha Zulu 5.
Charlie Alpha Zulu 5, gotcha, thanks.
It's just beyond this range of billowing hills in front of us. Down in the next valley.
Yep, good GPS contact, thanks.
It's in a creek.
Yep. And then we should be able to follow the river along after that. The Thompson River, apparently.
Yep.
Then Kamloops Lake into Kamloops. Right, I'm going to go make that quick coffee. Back in a moment. Right, I'm back.
Will this be just a touch and go roller, or is it going to be a tack stop at As5?
Depends what people want to do, really. Does everybody want to have a 5-minute break at the next airfield?
Yeah, I could do with a cup of coffee. Yeah, I'll land.
So what runway are we using at Cache Creek? 33 or 15? 15.
Yeah, I'm lining up for 1.5.
Right, I'll start
We
turning.
got 2 knot wind anyway.
Magic will hang out towards the end of the queue, but I'm going to come down the valley for that hopefully last minute.
Well, huge thanks go to Eagle One, who just contributed to the channel. Fantastic, thank you. I wonder where the battery charge is in this thing. Oh, okay, I found it. Make sure I restart the engine before it starts to go flat. Okay, so where does the route take us next? Let's have a look. So follow the river, the Thompson River, all the way out to Kamloops Lake. And then the South Thompson River after Kamloops takes us into a series of lakes to the destination of Ross Creek. You could literally fly around these valleys in Canada forever, couldn't you? There are so many airfields out here. Oh, it's just occurred to me why I might not be seeing people in the correct aeroplanes. Right, let's just try something.
What did you do just then? You just vanished. You came back, now you vanished.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just switching servers and coming back. I realised I had, to improve performance, I had switched off the, sorry, I'd forced the sim to only use generic models, which is why I didn't see somebody in the correct aeroplane last night. So when the multiplayer loads back in, I'll get the correct models, yeah, and they're loading in the correct models now. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm getting a Kit Fox and a Kodiak.
What settings is that?
If you go to the press escape, go to general options. In traffic, down towards the bottom of the screen, there's 4 settings, and there's one is use generic aircraft models in multiplayer. If you set it to on, it won't load the models of the planes around you. It will just use the generic, you know, the Mooney.
So that wants to be off.
It needs to be off, yeah. Then it will use what you've got in your community folder and in your flight sim.
Oh, it is. I got use generic aircraft models off. Multiplayer off. Show multiplayer aircraft in close proximity off. Traffic variety ultra. Right.
I'm going to go and take off.
I take it we're on the Western Europe server with the sim.
No, Southeast Asia.
It could explain a lot.
Ah,
How does one change that without having to restart everything?
press escape,
Yeah.
and then at the top right of the screen, go and click on your name,
Yep.
and just change the server name in the box.
Gotcha. Thanks. Southeast Asia.
Yeah, and then just go and resume the sim, and you don't have to OK the server change, it happens instantly.
Resuming.
After about 10-15 seconds, aeroplanes should start spawning.
Oh, okay. Looking. You're right. Here they come.
Brilliant. Right, so I'm going to start following that river in a moment. It leads away from the airport. You probably can see it on your map actually. If you go south-east away from the airport, you'll find it immediately.
Was that the generic aircraft models multiplier off chance?
Sorry?
Was that turn generic aircraft models multiplayer off or on?
Yeah, if you turn it off, it won't use the generic ones, it will use the correct ones.
Okay.
If you have them. I think the really frustrating thing with Flight Sim is if you have the aeroplane, but you haven't got the livery that they've got, it randomly picks an aeroplane. It doesn't fall back gracefully, let's put it that way.
Or you might see pink and white checkers.
That's a bug. Yeah, that's a bug. It tends to only happen with the Kodiak. Okay, so I'm averaging about 112 knots-ish. Just joining the Thompson River.
Certainly see where it's put its way into the hill.
You can, can't you? It looks like chalk, doesn't it?
Yeah. I just put it down as chalk.
I ought to raise my altitude a bit so people can still see my label if they're following along just by following the pack. Otherwise I'll disappear into the hills, never to be seen again. So Heliflyer is just learning the Kodiak, so this is fantastic. Yep. Kodiak is a favourite of lots of people.
Put him in at present. And I'm in the VirtualFlight.Online colours.
Oh, some people are doing the river itself. They're flying low along the river.
Yeah, I just copped a visual on one. I'm going to go down and have a look-see.
Does he need the RNLI?
What's the Canadian equivalent? Probably Coast Guard, I imagine.
Or the Royal Mounted Non-Swimmers.
Or non-flying?
What was it the SpaceX guys called it when they blew the rocket up the other day? Rapid unplanned disassembly.
Had a few cars like that.
Unusual scenery along this valley, isn't it?
I've never been out this way, so... I'm probably a bit of a so-and-so though for going to random strange places in the sim just to see what they're like.
If all the houses have got a couple of acres at least.
So we follow all the way along the lake. This is Kamloops Lake that's coming up. And at the far end of it we find Kamloops Airfield. Nearly 8,000 foot runway. It's a big airfield. It's got commercial gates or parking as well as light aircraft parking.
Trying to keep a visual on somebody's good fun when the sun all then shines off the river.
Looks like the multiplayer has broken. Or for me at least. You can see the lights from the runway in the distance from a hell of a long way out. Because it's got full approach lights.
You're a bit higher than me, so I don't know.
It's got an ILS for anybody who's equipped.
It has.
Oh yeah, I might go for that. 109.3. tuned in.
So I appear to have no multiplayer at the moment, so I'm going to cycle the server. See if the names have come back on. Nope. Okay. Let's go and program the ILS then. 1093, 87 degrees.
Not picking up a Morse code.
Okay, so this Jabiru doesn't have a nav radio by the look of it, which is really interesting. Oh well. Obviously not built for instrument flight.
Just locked onto the ILS. Still miles away from the airport.
Yeah, it's a big airport. It's a lot bigger than it looks.
There's Pappy lights.
So what elevation did we say it was? Let's have a quick look. 1,100 feet. multiplayer just came back to life in my sim. It's funny how it does that, isn't it? Turn the labels back off. I might have to go and do a circle around the airfield buildings here. It looks quite big.
Glide slope established.
Have you got quite a steep glide slope?
No.
Just looking, the puppy lights seem to be
Pretty normal.
very odd.
Do we have a runway in use, or is it follow the flow?
Just following it through. There's no wind, so
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go and have a look at the airfield though. My word, the group's getting bigger. There must be 20 of us now.
Not all on load that.
No, they're not. They're in the sim layer.
Oh yeah. No, turned around coming the other way. Jesus.
Okay. So I guess the easiest way to get to the next airfield is to carry straight on the same direction. There's a creek, isn't there? We can follow through.
Yeah.
I think it's called Monty Creek, and that then leads on to the next lake, which has got Ross Creek on it. Right then. Altitude hold. Heading mode. And trundle along.
See if there's quite a few on the airport waiting for us.
Yep. So, I'm just looking to see what altitude the creek goes to. 1,300 feet. Oh, sorry, no. 1,100 feet is Monty Creek airstrip, which is halfway along the creek. We tone down the sound of the engine on the live stream a bit. Yeah, Helifly is saying what a step up this is from earlier sims. Just following this route, for example, through anywhere hilly basically usually works out looking really good. Should have a play with the light levels as well.
I've asked this question before, but who here has not flown into Lillooet?
Guilty.
Are you? Sorry, say again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not done it yet. I tend to go into the French Alp ones.
Oh, you've got to try Lillooet. Don't go there to take off. Find it and land.
It's quite demanding.
Don't suppose halfpenny green counts.
There's another.
If you're going too fast, you're dead.
We did with the virtual airline, we set up a tour in the Himalayas. There was one particular airfield on that tour that was interesting. There's only one, the runway only works in one direction. So if you get your approach wrong, there is no way out either. There's no escape route. There's a similar one like that in the French Alps called Valois-Bonnuy. So good night, for good reason. If you get it wrong, there's no escape route. You've basically had it.
No more, don't
It's just round the corner from Alpe d'Huez.
The one next door to it is quite good as well.
Yes. I want to check how much fuel I've got. That's in the wing roots, isn't it, in this thing? Oh, I've got loads. Hey, there's a Cessna 337 Skymaster right behind me.
But I think that is something that when they're on the podium, when they're celebrating, it's really with their friends too.
I'm completely right, because I think most of these series you turn on, you do acceptable, you get onto scratches.
So, Jep, we can hear everything in the room.
The time they're spending together is not competitive to them.
Especially when they're on the podium.
Yes, he was on voice activation.
Well, we're in the chat room, so there's no push to talk requirement. Which is fine. You just have to be aware of it, really. So this is probably a good opportunity to ask everybody, has anybody else ever used TeamSpeak?
Never heard of it.
It was the predecessor of Discord, really, for the most. It was the popular voice over IP solution for playing games, and a lot of competitive esports people still use it because it doesn't do any of the tricks that Discord does, and you can run your own server. So you're not competing for bandwidth with anybody else. You've got your own. So last night while messing around, I used to use TeamSpeak years ago with a group called MyAir that we were talking about earlier. So yesterday evening while messing around, just out of curiosity really and going down memory lane, I went and installed a TeamSpeak server for VirtualFlight.Online just to see if anybody might be interested in using it, but I've not actually told anybody where it is yet.
You might find that not many people are using it then.
Yeah, this is the thing. So a lot of people that have been simming for a long time will know about TeamSpeak and will remember it. But I think Discord has pretty much eaten its lunch.
I got to admit, like you found out this morning, or was it yesterday, although I used to use it for years, I completely forgot how to set it up.
It's not as user-friendly as Discord, and it's not as feature-rich either.
No.
But the voice is actually better.
Ooh, that's a big highway below me. You're driving on the wrong side of the road. You're on the right.
Okay, we're coming up to the turn where we're going to turn left towards the lake.
Ooh, that's a posh golf course.
The South Thompson River.
But that ain't cheap.
I'm just looking on the map to see where you are.
I'm a little way behind you.
So, Rev Nicholas Johnson is saying this is the first time he's watched a live stream. Welcome.
Certainly the very first time I've been in one.
It's a live stream that is live at this moment.
Yep, we're in it. So quite often I do the group flights and don't live stream it. It's only recently that I've started live streaming everything. Okay, let's turn.
I reckon this ground got to be chalk, hasn't it?
You would think.
Or limestone, maybe.
So, heading mode.
different sort of pylon.
So just looking through the live stream comments when I was talking about TeamSpeak, yeah, there's a few people out there that remember it from years ago. So yeah, I may well just leave it there running on the VirtualFlight.Online server and let anybody use it that wants to use it. So if they get their hair off with Discord at some point, they can always use it as an alternative. If they fancy trying it. It's completely free to use, so you just need to install the TeamSpeak 3 client. I'll put some guidance on the internet at some point later in the weekend for it.
Coming up to a bridge. That looks a bit too low to fly under.
Actually, I'm a little disappointed in you, Jonathan, really.
Why's that?
Well, you haven't dipped your wheels in the water yet.
Is that a challenge? We're running out of river, aren't we?
I think it's worth a go.
I'm just going down there now. Wash the tyres before we do the final approach.
And that's my only criticism of the sim. The water's only about a foot deep.
But it depends if you have damage on.
It's as deep as that. I only thought it came about 3 inches up the ducts.
And you can land on it if you're careful.
Okay, the Jabiru, for whatever reason, doesn't make wakes on its wheels. Because I just put the spats into the water and nothing happened.
Oh, I've just done it the first time in... front.
Time to get the water wings out.
Pilot's discretion, I think that's called, isn't it?
Going up.
Magic Wakey.
Yeah.
Overconfidence. I did it okay the first time, and the second time, disaster.
Okay, we're on the final run in, about 20 miles, 25 miles out from Ross Creek. Someone's commented and said I've got 0 cavitation spats. Yeah, they must have been come from the I got them from the classified submarine yard.
thought, wonder if A-cars, when you land on water, I wonder if it still rates your landing.
I don't know. Never tried it.
Obviously a one with floats, you know, float plane.
This is a pretty part of the world to fly around, isn't it?
Few more trees at this end, isn't there?
Well, it's just quite nice. I guess if you were to continue on from here on further flights, you would go south from Ross Creek, wouldn't you? There's a whole stream of airports that go down past Kelowna and carry on pretty much in a straight line into Washington. And they are all kind of 5-10 miles apart. So this part of the world may turn up in a group flight very soon.
Of course, we're in British Columbia.
Yeah, we're just over the border from the US.
Nearly in Alberta.
So we've got a recommendation, 2 minutes past 9 in the sim in the evening will give us the sun on the hillsides. It's very dark.
Just changing my time.
21:02. No, that doesn't work for me. It's not quite.
$20.56 I've got.
$20.35 isn't bad.
Let's have a look. So if I press it outside.
Oh, better turn my lights off.
Sun's going down over there somewhere, isn't it? So setting it for 6:30 in the morning or just before is quite good as well, because you get the sun just coming up over the hills that we're heading towards. Oh, the person who said 2 minutes past 9, they had their time, their month set to July, which obviously impacts the sunset and rise times. Just looking at this, have I got the lights on? I don't think I've got... I had them on earlier. What have I not done?
The airport's got a beacon light flashing. You can see it in the dark.
5:13 isn't too bad. The sun's not quite up.
I suggest runway 34. 16 looks a bit iffy.
Voltec Sam on the live stream says, are you guys flying in Alaska or something? Well, if you look at the description of the live stream, it says exploring British Columbia, Canada. We're just coming towards the end of our flight. We're coming towards Ross Creek, if I show you on the screen. Zoom out. We started off in Squamish, I think you pronounce it, over by Vancouver, and we've flown through the hills for the last couple of hours, and we're just heading into Ross Creek, which is our final destination today.
And on my map, FS Tram, I'm streaming it. If anybody wants a quick look.
You mean in Discord, don't you?
Yeah, I'm streaming on Discord, sorry.
Yeah.
The Beaver doesn't like it if you do 190 mile an hour in it, does it?
No, I imagine the Beaver might fall to bits at that sort of speed.
It creaks a lot.
And shudders. Odd panels come falling off. Okay, where's the airfield then? We're about 10 miles out. Ross Creek.
Beaver in the Indiana Jones never fell to bits.
I think this one will need a service when I land.
So what height did we say Ross Creek was again? Let's have a look. Elevation 1200 feet. Runway is 2300 feet long. Runway 34 looks like the easiest approach. Runway 16, you might have to do a wall of death past a hill to get to it.
That's what I was on about earlier.
So straight in runway 34 from the lake. I might fly overhead and scout it out first before doing the approach. Let's go back inside. So I'm at 2100 feet at the moment, so about 1000 feet over the airfield. Let's turn the nameplates back on. Visuals on the airfield. So there's the airstrip behind the line of trees on approach. It's classic, isn't it? There's a clump of trees right in line with the runway. Just had a near miss on the runway. Oh, and someone coming in head on with everybody else.
Trees are to clean your tyres off.
Is that right?
Yeah. Make sure you don't dirty the runway.
No, that's what the lake's for.
Oh, they're for drying your tyres. Okay. Okay, entering the circuit.
Yeah, some nice tree shots on the approach end.
Yeah. I think Microsoft deliberately put them there.
You think?
Yeah. In case you miss them at other airports. That was an enjoyable flight. Thank you, Jonathan.
That's all right. Just coming around onto finals.
Well, I see 14 aircraft on the ground at present.
Just side slipping it to try and keep the speed down as we come in over the trees. It's a fairly long runway though, isn't it?
Yes, thank you, Jonathan. That was a fun flight, despite becoming a submarine.
You're going to go and wring your socks out and put them on the radiator.
Bouncy, bouncy.
And that was a good landing.
Oh, his wheels have disappeared.
It's a oh, it's got a tricycle undercarriage, but it's appearing to me as a tail dragger. There's various variants of that aircraft, aren't there?
Yeah.
Is it the Club Crafter, something like that?
Right, I'm going to pull the plug, so bye everyone.
That was good fun, wasn't it?
Yep, thank you.
Right, you couldn't see it, Jonathan. It's one of the stock aircraft.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's just flight sim being flight sim, isn't it?
Yep.
Alright, there we go. Couple of hours in British Columbia.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.
That's alright. So if anybody wants to use the Discord server to organise their own flights, all I did was posted an invitation and I preceded it with @everyone. So as long as you give people enough advance warning, you'll usually get a few takers that will arrive that have got some free time and go flying with you. Right, I'm going to leave it there.
Thanks all.
I have to go stop the live stream now.